All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is your favorite dark sorcerer, practicing warlock, practicing necromancer, and practicing brewer. So today I thought we would break things down and kind of look at where your journey is going to take you. Okay, I figure I've done enough um, videos this far on being a warlock and the practices, even showed a ritual or two. So I think it's now is a great time to kind of reflect about your choice and your decision and where your practice is going to take you. So why don't we begin with the neophyte level? Okay. The neophyte level is the beginner. Okay. This is where somebody who is getting interested in a particular path or route working is basically thinking and contemplating on becoming a practitioner of the dark arts or any magical system. Okay, be it Vudan, Palo, be it Lukami, be it Quimbanda, Umbanda, necromancy, Satanism, witchcraft, Wiccan, pagan, if I dare say it, because I'm not really a big fan of pagans and Wiccans, but they're there. Um, even shamans, you know, grimoire system, demonolators. You got to start somewhere. So when you get into a particular path, you're making a choice that this is a route working or a path working that you want to undergo. Okay. This is where you've made up your mind that this is where I want to get into. I want to learn more. There's something about it that intrigues me. There's something about it that fascinates me. And I am going to make my choice here today. And I want to become initiated. I want to delve into the various systems. Okay. Even if it is just a single, you know, an individual system of magic, it doesn't matter. There could be a number that speak to you, but you got to pick that one choice to begin with. So here, this is what we call the choice. Okay. It is your choice to leave these basic, simplistic systems of magic. Okay. Or I should say, faithless. And how should I say this? Systems that basically you go in broken and come out even more, devastated. Okay. Like, say, the JCI or, the Judo Christian institutions of various degrees. Okay. Or you're coming from, say, one of these other traditions like Wiccan and pagan, something that, just does not satisfy you anymore. And it's time for you to make this choice and delve into something that really catches your curiosity. It is something that really intrigues your fancy. Okay. So making that choice to delve into it begins with making that decision. That decision leads you to the adept level where you've made up your mind that this is definitely the path that you're going to. And this is basically where your studies begin. Okay. The neophyte level is basically the curiosity stage. It is where a lot of practitioners are on social media. They don't really decide to go further than that. They don't decide to go, okay, I'm going to delve into these different branches and see what tickles my fancy. No, they want to stick to that one little corner of the universe and do what everybody else does. Okay? It's about being liked, it's about following the herd mentality. Okay, it's not really about self evolution at that time. It is not about personalized growth and study and to how should I say this? See where you're able to evolve. Okay, that's the neophyte level. Okay, for you. But the adept level, this is where you really get serious about your practices. This is, your choice, your decisions up until this point. And by now, you should have done quite a bit of research from various different denominations of that particular path that you're in. If you're Wiccan and Pagan, there's a lot of different authors out there that have written about their traditions, such as Silver Ravenwolf, Raymond Buckland, Jason Augustus Newcomb, Jason Miller, you know, and various others. So I mean, not and that's not even getting into Satanism or dark witchcraft, Santa Morte practices, or even the African Caribbean traditions, even shamanism for that matter. So, but this adept stage is where you, as the individual, wants to go further. You want to evolve. You want to get into the actual practice and the studies and make it a lifestyle. Okay, that is where the adept level begins. Okay, so at this stage, you're looking to get initiated into perhaps a coven setting or maybe into a particular tradition. Okay, this is where you begin as an adept because 9 times out of 10, you're either studying, let's say, for an example, let's go with Satanism for an example, or witchcraft in general. You're looking at, say, Luciferianism. Okay, there are two types of Luciferianism, one in witchcraft, and then you have the satanic one. Okay, both are similar but different. But then you go into, say, let's go theistic or spiritual. How about traditional? Okay, maybe you're interested in just working with demons, not just becoming a Satanist in general, but more of a demonolator. You look at, like, say, S. Connolly, you know, maybe get involved with Michael W. Ford's work or Vococalacus Aureax or Myrmidon Pontifex Maximus. Maybe Satanista, Satan. How do you pronounce that again? Satanito. Okay, his work. Either way, you're getting into a particular path working that tickles your fancy, and it's to the point now where you really, really want to delve into it. So you're getting into your tradition. You're starting to gather the materials. You're erecting an altar, and it's interesting because there's a saying that's in Brugeria. Okay, and how do you know when you're a brewer or a brewer? Well, you made that choice. It starts with that choice. Now you're delving into the witchcraft aspects. You're learning the spells, the rituals as an adept. Okay. You see what I mean? There's different degrees, different levels of your studies and practices. So you've chosen your path, you're delving into it, you're erecting your altar, you're erecting your sanctuary, you're getting the altar clothes, the altar tools, the herbs, the incense, everything that you would need for that particular path working or root working. Now you begin to forge alliances with those spirits of that particular path working. Okay. This means the Loa, the Orisha, the demons, the jinn, the angelics. Okay. There's a number of different things. And by this time, you should have a fair well knowledge of that pathwork. So you've already made up your mind, this is the path I want to follow. I want to make this my path, my life. Okay. So by the time you get to the advanced stage, this is where you've already became the Bruo or the Brua, the Capilata or Bokor, the Witch or Warlock, the Hexa, the Strega, the Babalawi, you know what I'm saying, the Hungan or the Membo. Okay. Either way, the Polero or the Miramberos. Either way, this is, you've already made it to that far. You've studied for months, if not years. Okay. And you've already come to that point where it's like, okay, let's delve in further. I want to be surrounded by demons. I want to be my home is going to be my sanctuary, my place of worship. I want to erect individual statues or altars, within a peristyle, maybe even become a priest or priestess within that tradition. Either way, you are evolving, which is a good thing along the journey of a warlock. Okay, you're not staying stagnant like the world. You are evolving at a constant state. And you'll find that along your journey, when you've reached that state of, say, adepthood or advanced levels, everybody's got an opinion. Everybody has, well, information to share with you. Okay. But you got to remember, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Over the last 5 months, I've been doing constant experimentation with certain groups. You know, we all heard about Yake Wedding's little downfall. We all heard about Bog getting a little legal twist up their anal section, you know, thanks to the BBC News. Well, I'm not a big fan of Bog, okay? I get a kick out of their books because let's face it, they're more like a children's story. Okay, a bedtime story. I actually read that stuff to my son when he goes to bed. It's that much of a watered down system. But here's the kicker about it though. I'm sitting here doing research. I'm watching from the distance, experimenting with the posts that I put in onto the forums, even into the groups on Facebook. Because what I'm doing is I'm looking at the various different topics, looking for that better way to educate those who really want to learn. But at the same time, it's to stick that proverbial athame into the backs of the wannabes, those who think they're better than everyone else because they've either written a book or a number of different books and they won't associate with you because of that. They become ego driven, so to speak. So it's about lurking just beneath the shadows, moving within the systems without being noticed, applying your trade to your life and to your practices. Okay. So lately, every so often, maybe once every other week, I'd sit there, or maybe even once a month, I would post a particular aspect. Like the other day, out of I posted on social media. I posted on Facebook, a number of different groups, and I even did this on Bog's forum just for shits and giggles. And it was funny because I wanted to see what kind of replies I would get. Okay, and I was doing this because of the black magicians of India. Okay, because of my root workings and my heritage that goes all the way up into European countries. specifically that of Slavic, Germanic, Swedish, Welsh, Irish, and English, areas, not just French, on my mother's side of the family. I wanted to see what I could do here. So I took all that information and I wrote it the same way that E.A. Coetti would put in his book, just to see what the fuck would happen. Okay. And it was funny because I got a hit. Okay. And it was from this person claiming to be his title. Okay. It was a title. Okay. By the person's name, and it said leader. Okay. Leader. Like, okay. Leader of what? Chumps? People who sit there and post nude photos and talk about sex all day? That's not magic. That's just humanism. Okay. But yet, a group claiming to trying to further the magical systems. Okay. Looking for others of like minded individualism. They seem to stick to their own kind. You know what I'm saying? You got these top people that constantly do videos and interview each other, like, say, Nate Bales and Matthew Lawrence, or that of, say, J.S. Garrett and Matthew Lawrence, or, say, J.D. Temple and Matthew Lawrence, Matthew Lawrence being E.A. Coetti. Okay. So I put this to the test. And I started writing like that, like he does. And I started posting little bits here and there with a shitload of information just to see who was actually paying attention to the sources that I was dropping in there. And like I said, I was doing this like once bi-weekly, if not once a month. So this person gets under there and literally attacks my credibility. Just attacks the credibility. Okay. Says I don't post anything worth tidbits, no sources, nothing to back up my claims. The whole kit and caboodle. And it was funny as all hell because I'm sitting here, all he's doing is trying to tear you down. Okay, you claim to be this leader. Okay, where's your credibility? Where's your sources? You claim to be a leader within this forum, but yet you've shown nothing. No information, no sources. Hell, let's say, for example, you're talking about the Hexa, Swedish witchcraft, or the Strega, which is Romanian and Italian. How about the Eshi or the Aji, which is African? Okay. Where's your sources on this? There is none. And from what I can tell, out of all the forums on Bog that I've posted in, there's nothing there worth your time. And yet he's got over 4 points, whatever followers. Big deal. You got nothing to offer, nothing to share. And that's my own personal view of this. I'm not attacking EA Coetting or his little, cronies. I'm not. I could care less what they do. But I'm using this as an example. Okay. Now let's go on to Facebook. You post this thing on the Dark Sorcerers of India in numerous groups. And one group in particular, I've gotten about 4 comments on it. The first 2 were arguments. Third one actually showed promise. Showed somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, meaning they've studied, not just practiced, the sorcery. You see, this type of person is who I would engage with. I would engage with them just to see what their interests are, where their knowledge is, and where they're looking to take their practices. Okay. And then you had a fourth one that literally, I've known this guy, Lolan, for how many years now? Almost a decade, I think. I think it's been like 5, 10 years, 5, 7 years now. He's been following me on social media. So he ends up posting and actually commenting. Okay. Showed his knowledge was right up there. Okay. I'd expect nothing less from it. So, and outside of that, you just had likes and the blue thumb or the hearts. You know, you know how most of society is. They don't want to engage. They're afraid to be criticized. They're afraid to be critiqued. In fact, they're afraid to even put forth any form of gnosis to show that they are growing and learning. This is why I like the Mazajira Cabal system because at least they're making you do the work. They're making you grow. They're making you show them what you're learning because it's not about them, it's about you. Okay. And it's fascinating because even in my own journey, my own personalized journey, I've seen people, just throw hate out. Others just want to argue. This shit here is for you to, you to expect. This is what you need to expect as you grow and advance in your knowledge. And this is why I've always told you guys back up what you preach and always make yourself available to the public. Okay? You answer to the public, not yourself. Yes, you are an ambassador between the world and the spirits that you work with, that you formed relationships with. That is between you and them. But what you say, you are accountable for. Put it there. Okay? So, like I said, over the last 5 months, I've been experimenting here. And experimentation is very good to help you grow and to mature within your traditions. It's not just going out studying the materials, applying the materials to your life as you're experimenting with them, but it's also about you evolving, both physically, spiritually. And one thing that you will be doing and find out doing is that rituals and ceremonies take a lot out of you. The long periods of being on your knees will kill your knees. Trust me, I know I got bad knees. Okay. I've spent so many hours meditating that I come out of there, my legs are tingly and numb for how long I've sat there in trance, in communion with spirits. And most importantly, if I'm on my knees, I deal with my knees for a few days after that ritual. It's not easy. It is not fun. It's something serious. And it's even more amusing to see how many people are just popping out books left and right without doing any form of practice or research. And yet they get hundreds of followers. It's mind blowing. See, that's why I always also say that I'm not in it for the popularity. I'm not putting out videos for shits and giggles. The videos that I'm doing is trying to educate you and to guide you along your path. For me, it's about spiritualism. It's about that connection with spirits. I'm working with the spirits that I work with to evolve, not just to apply it in my own life, but to help them evolve and apply their life, their stuff to their agendas as well. So when I tell you that you're going to be evolving throughout your journey, I'm not joking. You're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have your what ifs. What if I speak this and I get hate? What if I get hated on? Big deal. Once you get out into the world, you got to remember that being on social media like this, you get a lot of tough guys and gals talking shit behind computers. They don't have the balls to say shit to your face. They don't. They'll just spew lies about you behind your back. More so, you will find that there are those few. They will sit there and go, I like what this guy's teaching. He's sharing knowledge. I've learned more from this guy or this gal in the last 3 years, more in the last 3 years than, say, 10 years prior. You see, these are the people that I seek out. These are the people that I want to engage with, that I want to help evolve along their path. And there we go. And it's interesting to see that these practitioners are far and few in between. Oh, a sec here. I don't know what the heck that was, but let me see here. There we go. Come on. What the heck? Alrighty, there we go. Fucking computer. Oh, come on. There we go. I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. There was a little glitch. Um, the somebody chimed in over here, and I was trying to erase it, and it just froze up on me. So I do apologize. Anyways, as I was saying, is you're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have people that hate you. You're gonna have people that like you, and then you're gonna have those few that really want to learn and evolve. So those are the people I would recommend that you get close to, is the ones that want to evolve, want to continue learning, and it's all about the practice for them. You know what I'm saying? And if you go to reach out to somebody and they don't reply to you, like say what Bog does, no wonder they got their asses handed to them in a sling. Okay, no wonder they've had a implosion within their little organization. No wonder they've had so much drama there. Okay, it's because that's what they're seeking. They're seeking that drama. They're seeking that chaos in their lives. Whereas instead of trying to control that aspect, to grow and to be responsible and reliable and putting forth that brand, as you know EA so colorfully put it in one of his videos, was you are responsible for your own actions. Okay, you're responsible for your own growth, your own learning. Okay, and it's sad that most don't want to evolve. They don't want to learn. They want to stay stagnant. So this is why, as magicians, as sorcerers, as warlocks and brewers, you're going to find that it's easier just to simply say, I'm letting go of that shit, man. I don't want nothing to do with that bullshit. I don't give a damn about your drama. I don't give a damn about your stagnation. It's better just to let go and do you. Plain and simple. You will get more out of your practices through your own evolution of self discovery than you will ever learn being in a coven or being in a member of a mega multitude group. Okay. And it's interesting because a lot of people don't realize that. It's sad to see. You got people constantly having to slander others to make themselves look good. But wait for it, you've also got people sitting there representing you as well. I look at it like this, and this is my own personal opinion, is look at when you make that choice as a neophyte, I want you to look at what type of brand do you want to put forth? How do you want to be representing yourself and to be seen? Okay. As a warlock and practicing necromancer, a sorcerer, I'm more interested in magic. I'm more interested in the sorcery and the spiritualism behind it, the constant growth and learning from the spirits. When I look at people's replies to that, it's baffling, and this is why. I've had people, certain individuals, that sit there and go, "Well, they own your ass, boy." No, they don't own me. The deal that I have with the spirits is this: I'm willing to learn as long as they're willing to teach. The day you stop learning is the day you might as well put up your wand and your athame and toss your altar in the fucking trash because you've already stopped learning. You've already let ego drive you into doing nothing but bullshit stuff online. You look at, for an example, people who do an hour and a half to 3 hour conversations. It's like, God damn, I do one sentence and I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be in the ritual room giving offerings on a daily basis, communing with the spirits and meditating to them, to their wisdom. Let them guide me to what needs to be done. Each type of rite puts forth a chain reaction that leads you to another and another and another. For an example, my elder, and I talked about this in another video that I did, was I have an elder a teacher that basically put me on a mission to write an essay about Egyptian sorcery. Okay. Except for every time you look up necromancy for Egyptian practices, you're always going to the Greco Greek or the Roman necromancy. So, why is it so hard to look at Egyptian magic and sorcery? The reason for that is because you are putting in the wrong words. You're not looking at the overall picture from the land of sorcerers. Okay. I learned this the hard way. Okay. And the reason for that is because I spent a few months just Googling, reading up on books, trying to find the information that I needed for the essay to be put forth from my teacher. And I finally was online. I was on YouTube one day, and it was actually no, it wasn't a day. It was a night, and Aurelius Sopax was on. For those of you who do not know who that is Frank White from the Serpent of the Grails. Okay, one hell of a Luciferian and one hell of a practitioner. He knows his shit better than most on social media, as far as I'm concerned. There are a few that actually know probably the same amount, if not more than him. But I'm not here to dictate that. Um, so, anyways, I was online and I was watching one of his lives. It was one of his Q&As. And just for shits and gigs, I don't know what it was, but I felt the need to just put forth that question. So I asked him, I said, hey, you know, do you know anything about Egyptian sorcery, specifically that of necromancy? Because I've been searching for a few months now, trying to find something on this since this task was put in front of me. And he talked a lot about the land of sorcerers, but the biggest thing that stuck with me was the Shem priesthood. Okay, and I didn't realize it at the time, but at the time I was getting ready to reapply for my minister's license. I had to reactivate it because I do it once a year instead of for a lifetime because to me it helps you remain humble. It helps you remain focused on the objective of why you chose to become a minister, a member of the clergy. And it was funny because of the fact that in the religious organization that I'm affiliated with, that's one of my goals is to become an ordained minister there as well. So, but this was the funny thing was, is that when I delved into the Shem priesthood, it led me into the Egyptian Book of the Dead. It led me into Anubis. It led me into Isis. Okay, two of the main pantheon deities of Egyptian mythology. And it was interesting because of the fact that this led me up into the Middle East. It led me up into European countries, and then all the way back down into African Caribbean traditions. And here I am today practicing and studying Brugeria for the last 5 months. So when I tell you that this path is about constant growth, it is about constant maturity, it is about constant evolution. I'm not kidding. You will be surprised where the spirits and where your magic takes you. Okay? But it's up to you as individuals to go out and to follow those leads. You put the time in through commitment and dedication, and you will be amazed at where your journey takes you. And Draconian Starseed Witch, I did see you pop in and say hi. I just wanted to let you know, hey, I saw you. But I'm grateful to have you here too. So, but yeah, like I said, it is about your constant growth. It is about your constant journey into witchcraft and sorcery. So, where your magic takes you is where you go. How far you're willing to take it. That's why I broke it down into these three sections. The choice, meaning the neophyte or the acolyte, depending on which system you're in. You have the adept, which is somebody who gets into the witchcraft and gets into the sorceries and delves into the knowledge and starts practicing. Okay. And then you have the advanced, which is the witch and warlock aspect of, hey, this is my life. This is where I'm at. This is what I feel comfortable doing. It's what I am inside and out, and I'm applying it to my world in my trade. Okay. Keep that in mind. Okay. So I've been on here for 41 minutes and 21 seconds now and counting. I'm going to get my ass off here. Okay. I want to thank Draconian Starseed Witch for jumping on here with me. It's great to see you back. And for those of you who are sitting there watching, because I've noticed it's going from 1 like to 2 likes, and down, watch wise, and I'm pretty sure the numbers by 2 little people or a quarter people, so I want to thank you for watching, and feel free to hit that subscribe button and the notification button. Either one works. Nobody's twisting your arm. So the key words here are dedication, commitment, learning, and growth. Okay. Evolution. All right. Look up things that mean words in your dictionary. Okay. Things like servant, serving, disciple, apprentice, practitioner, worship or worshiper. Okay. These things will enlighten you in a lot of different ways. Okay. It will open your mind up and allow you to start thinking more properly within the form of spiritual worship. Okay. Not what a lot of today's practitioners believe it is. Delve in it for you, not for me, not for somebody else, but just for you. All right. And remember these 2 key rules. Whatever you preach, always back it up with numerous sources. And number 2, always make yourself available to the public. All right. Have a good one.